Hello, this is Minister Peaceful Poet. I haven't made a video in a long time. I do apologize. At the end of this video, there's been some changes in my life, so I'm probably going to be making a lot more videos on a regular basis like I used to, and I'll explain all of that at the end of this video. The name of this video is Why I Believe in All Religions, and that's why I call myself an eclectic. That's what an eclectic is someone who believes in all religions. Uh, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christian, um, witchcraft. Witchcraft isn't exactly a religion. It's actually paganism. It's just a new name for paganism, actually. Witchcraft never really existed. It was a word that was made up by the Christian religion during um, during the King James administration. The King James administration created the word witchcraft, and that's where it came from. The Bible says, don't suffer a witch to live. But what that really was supposed to say was, don't suffer a poisoner to live. It wasn't witchcraft. It's a false translation by the King James administration. Anyways, so I believe in all religions for a reason. And I think it's important that I explain that. You might choose to follow me and do the same, or you may not, but at least you know where I stand, and I think that's important. I Most of my life I searched for salvation. I've belonged to every kind of church you could possibly imagine. I've been Catholic, I've been Mormon, I've been Baptist, I've been Lutheran, I've been I belong to every kind of church you could possibly imagine. Been baptized about 3 times, been to several altar calls in my search for salvation. And I remember a counselor asking me, why were you always searching for salvation? And I never really thought about it, but I think the reason is because I remember before I was born. And I explained this before many times, and I will explain it again at the end of this video. At the end of this video, I'll explain a lot of personal things that just changed so that you don't have to watch the whole video. I'll put all the important stuff first. But So I remember before I was born, and I didn't want to come down to this earth. I didn't want to be born. I didn't want to be here. But I was forced to come here. So you might say I was sort of cast out of heaven. There's a verse in the Bible about those who are cast out of heaven, right? And so that's how it went. However, there was a man who had a beard and mustache who, when I was younger, I believed was Jesus, but now I'm not so sure who or what he was. But he put his hand on my shoulder and told me that everything would be okay. And my life hasn't been too bad. So there you go. But so, anyways, that was probably why most of my life I was searching for salvation. And one day I woke up and I said to myself, who has condemned me that I should be saved? And then I threw out everything that I believed and I decided to start all over. So I then began to study all religions: Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, um, Muslim, Christian, everything. I just read every piece of scripture I could get a hold on, get my hands on. I've studied Confucius, read all everything Confucius said. I've read it. I've studied the Gnostic scriptures and all the other scriptures that weren't included in the Bible that I could get my hands on. And so that went on for about 5 years. And so I decided in my search for the one true religion, because this is how our mind works, right? We think that if we believe the right thing, that we will go to heaven. If we have the right belief. All the people who don't go to heaven, they all had the wrong belief. This is a crazy idea, but this is just how our mind works. Okay. All of us do it, and I'm just being honest about it. But so I figured that the right religion, or the one closest to the truth, was the Gnostics. Now, the Gnostics believed that there was a false God and a true God, and that the false God created our body, and the true God created our soul, and our soul was trapped in our body. Thus, the truth was within, and the lie was outside of us. Very good teaching. Unfortunately, we really don't know a lot about the Gnostics because they were wiped off the earth. And a lot of their scriptures were destroyed. So it's kind of limited what we do actually know about them. But that's where I decided to go, and that's what I decided to believe. And then one night, as I was sleeping next to my wife, we weren't married at the time, and this was probably around 1995, something like that. A voice came to me, and it said, "It is true that God created the body. It is true that the false God created the body, but the false God also created the soul. But God takes us as if we were a ball of clay and makes us unto himself, so that we'll be like him." So God takes us as if we were a ball of clay and makes us unto himself, is what the voice said. And that was it. That was it. Nothing else. Just that. And all that I have studied and all that I know, there is no church, religion, teaching that I am aware of that teaches this. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that has been given this wisdom, or given this insight. I'm the only one. And sure, I could go create a new religion. I create a new church. I create a new teaching. I could do all that stuff if I wanted to, I suppose. But it's just one little tiny piece of truth. Just one tiny little piece of truth. That's it. Nothing else. And I have for years and years and years prayed and asked and prayed and asked, who is the false God? Who is the true God? How is it that God takes us as if we were a ball of clay and makes us unto himself? And what does it mean to be unto himself? All these questions, 1,001 questions. No answers. None. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Get no answers. None. And I think that's on purpose, because I don't think God wants me to create another religion. And I can't create another religion off just this tiny little piece of truth. And what this tiny little piece of truth did was it caused me to stop searching for salvation. After that, I stopped searching for salvation. I stopped studying religions, and that's it, because I had the answer. I had the answer I've been searching for, and that's really all I needed. But I do have opinions. We all have opinions, right? And so I decided that I would believe in all religions and all churches and all teachings, because within all religions you'll find truth, and with all religions you'll find falsehood. That's just how it is. And the best way I could explain that is the way Jesus explained it in his parable about the garden. He planted a garden, and at nighttime, the enemy came and planted weeds among the plants. And the weeds and the plants grew together. And so they went to Jesus and says, "Should we pull the weeds?" And Jesus said, "No, let them go. Leave them alone. Because if you pull the weeds, you'll damage the plants. Wait till the harvest, and into harvest time, it'll all be separated." So that's how it's going to go down. So there is no false church or true church. They're all false. They're all true. They all got their falsehoods. They all got their truth. Every church, every religion, every teaching. Okay, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. So don't judge. Let people believe what they want to believe. Let them have their faith. Because those of us who are human, because not all of us are human, those of us are human, we're going to be saved. One way or another, God's going to take us as if we were a ball of clay and make us unto himself. We are going to be saved. One way or another, it's going to happen. So, now that I put that out there, the reason why I believe in all religions, let me share just some of my opinions with you, because I have opinions. What is the false God? I don't know for sure, because like I said, I prayed and I never got an answer, but I have an opinion. And I believe the false God is Enki and Enlil. They were brothers, and they ruled this earth. And some even say that Enki is actually created us. We were created by Enki. That's what some people say, and others dispute it. But some claim that we were created by somebody else. It wasn't Enki, somebody else. But Enki and Enlil were brothers, and they were on a planet. It's referred to. There's a Nibiru, planet Nibiru, sometimes referred to as Planet X. And there was another sun, and it was a dead sun, and it was far away. And this planet Nibiru would go around our sun and around that sun that was dead. And that was a very long route there. And they needed gold in their atmosphere in order to, because their atmosphere was created so that they were self-sustaining, because they would be close to the sun and then there would be no sun, and then they'd be close to the sun and there'd be no sun. So they had an atmosphere, and they used gold to create this atmosphere that was self-sustaining so that they could keep the climate the same within there without because of their weird orbit. And so we were created to mine gold. That was supposedly our purpose, was to mine gold. And this is why we take orders. We take orders. We do as we're told. We really do. That's another discussion, but we do as we're told. Chief taught me that in the Navy, and it's true. Pay attention, you'll see. We do as we're told. I mean, every once in a while we rebel and we break rules, but most of the time we do as we're told. And this is why, because this is the way we were created. Anyways, so Enlil was Enlil wanted us all to, after the mining was done, Enlil wanted us to die, but Enki wanted us to live. And so there was a little war that went on there, and I don't know all the details. But eventually what happened was the people, his creations, us, we rebelled. And they had weapons that described, the description, you would think that they were nuclear weapons by the description. But we set these weapons off onto them, but didn't realize their potential, and we just about wiped ourselves out as well. I mean, the description of this is just unbelievable. I mean, it was just a mass destruction. And the planet Nibiru, or Planet X, you'll probably hear people say it's coming back, and I used to buy that all the time. I used to believe that, and I was searching for it and all this stuff kind of thing. But actually what happened is it crashed into one of our planets in our solar system. I'm not exactly sure which one, but the belt that goes around Saturn is part of the debris from that planet. So it doesn't exist anymore. Enki and his brother Enlil, their planet doesn't exist anymore. They're out in space somewhere. And I don't even know if Enlil's still alive. I can't honestly say, but Enki is. And from what I understand is Enki is going to come back. And probably around 2027, 28, somewhere around there, going to come back. And going to rule this earth again. But not as a god. Not as a god, okay? Because we know better. Back then, a god, because we didn't know better. But when he comes back this time, we will know who he is. And he will hook us into the Galactic Federation. He will prepare this Earth so that it can qualify to be a part of the Galactic Federation. That will be his purpose. Well, that's what he'll try to do anyways. At least that's what I think. Okay? That's what I think. And I could be wrong. Could be wrong, but that's what I think. So anyways, but the whole point of this is why I believe in all religions. And we shouldn't judge other people. Okay? Let other people believe what they believe. Don't think that you have the truth, so you're saved and everybody else is going to hell. Just scrap that whole idea altogether, because that's not true. We're all false. We're all true. And we're all being converted. as if we were a ball of clay and made unto himself. It's happening. So try to be more open-minded. All right. So now I'm going to get into, well, I'll say, for those of you who wish to go and not hear about my personal life, I appreciate you listening this far. Thank you much. Blessed be. And now I'm going to talk about my personal life. Okay. I'm a disabled vet now. I have full disability. And I was really shocked and surprised that I got full disability. So I'm retired. I've retired. And the place I used to work, I worked there for 11 years. Anyways, I had a brain injury when I was in the Navy, and that's why I got full disability. I was really surprised that they gave it to me. They have a long list of things that are wrong with me. And I agree with them, except for one, and that was part of this list. It says that I could hurt people, and I disagree with that. I don't think I can hurt anybody, but that's on the list. I'm a danger to other people. I could be a danger to other people. But so anyway, so I have full disability, and this gives me ample time to do the things that I've been wanting to do, to make videos every day, like I used to at one time, and do research like I've wanted to do. I used to make a lot of videos in the past, and then I had a great job. We didn't work very hard. I worked nights. See, right now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've worked nights for 15 years or more. And so it's going to take a while. I'm up all night and I sleep most of the day. That's just how it is. It's going to take me a while. And my glasses, they're broken, and I haven't been able to get that taken care of because we've just been too busy. I've been too busy. But now that I have time, I can get these fixed. I get these replaced, and hopefully I get glasses that won't have a reflection, get Blu-ray on there so that I won't get this terrible reflection. But it was a nice job. You know, I didn't have to work very hard. I could work on my blog while I was at work. That's how little work we did. But things changed, and we got really super busy, and it got really very stressful. And then they took my nights away and they made me work evenings, and that was stressful, and a lot of people around, and I can't deal with a lot of people. And so I put in for increased disability, and I got it. I was really shocked and surprised I got it. But it was just a little bit too difficult for me. It was. I was a tier 1 help desk agent, and they wanted me to go to tier 2, and I didn't want to do it because I knew that I have a bad temper. I do have a bad temper, and I knew that I would get frustrated and I would lose my temper and lose my job. And there was another Navy vet like myself who moved to tier 2, and he used to dig on me because I was a non-hacker. I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. And well, guess what? He lost his temper and ended up being fired. Us vets, we have bad tempers. We do. We had a tough life. I mean, I might have had it tough growing up, but it doesn't compare to anything at all what I experienced in the Navy. Whatever happened to me when I was a child is just completely wiped out by everything that happened to me in the military. It's tough. It is really tough. And so a lot of us vets, we do have kind of bad tempers. It's just a thing, most of us. The guy that hired me was a retired Marine, and he was very professional, very, very professional. Everybody respected him and looked up to him and kind of feared him. He was a tough guy. To our surprise, he committed suicide, and it was a very, it was ugly. It was an ugly mess. And And I had a lot of respect for him. And so one night he came and visited me in my dream and said, Roger, you need to be more patient, understanding, and forgiving. And I woke up and I had to agree. He was absolutely right. And so I remember that dream. And so I very much work very hard on being patient, understanding, and forgiving. I work on that very, very hard. And so that has helped me a lot with my temper. It really has. And I think about that all the time when I start to get mad. I remember what he told me. So that's helped quite a bit. So now I have more time to work on the stuff that I want to work on, to research the things I want to research and create more videos like I used to in the past. And so you'll see more from me. So if you've listened to me so far this long, I appreciate that. God bless you. Blessed be. Peace be among you. All that good stuff. Peace and love. Have a nice day. Thanks. Bye.